everyone, and welcome back. It's Chit Chat with two T's. As usual, I am your host, counseling psychologist, jvaldez. And with me today, all in all, yes, all my guests are special. I can't help it. I know the most special people in the world. So you'll just have to live with that. And today, we have my dear friend and farmer, and he'll tell you a little bit more about that, Mr. Alpha Sennon. Welcome, Alpha.
I hear. Thanks for having me, Jill.
You're rich.
I reach. You know, finally, I make it to the big stage. You know, so I'm excited, and I have a cup, I have a tea. You know, Trinbago tea, full local. You know.
I mean, so, we're jumping right into this, but before you tell us about the tea, why don't you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about who Alpha Sennon is?
All right, great. Thanks for the opportunity. You know, so greetings to everybody, all the listeners, all the viewers out there. So I'm Alpha Sennon, aka Alfarmer, right?
I like that.
I'm a Queenham Road Superior, bred and born guy, right? Attended Superior Boys RC, you know, then Pfizer Composite, then IRE, then University, etc. So who am I? You know, I'm a faithful believer. You know, I practice the Islamic faith. I am a farmer. I am an educator. I'm the founder and executive director of WHYFARM. You know, an NGO that pioneers agricultural, educational entertainment.
Wow.
Locally, but we do a lot of work internationally, all over the globe. I lost check of how much countries I've traveled to, spreading this agri-gospel, you know, as we call it. You know, so that's a little bit about me. I mean, of course, I hold many other different titles. I'm the marketing and communications director at the Deltones Institute. That's Superior Deltones.
Yes.
I am a husband.
I knew this.
Yeah. Right. So that's a little bit about me. But I mean, what I do is that I inspire people to understand their relationship with food, you know, understanding food and nutrition security. But we work primarily with children and with young people. I think I am kind of best known for the creation of the world's first and only food and nutrition security superhero, Agri-Man. Yeah. So I have that title or that belt. So we do, you know, we created a superhero character. I have an amazing team that I work with. So we design comic books for children. You know, most recently we actually had a school in Brooklyn, did a whole production on our comics. Last year we had a school in Brazil, did an entire tour on Agri-Man adventures. So, you know, starting with this tiny idea in my brain in Superior has exploded and continues to explode, you know, out into the realms of the world. So, absolute pleasure to be here to chit chat a little bit.
Hey, I mean, I've always known Alpha as a man of the people, a man of the culture. You know, he's involved in the pan with Deltones, as he said. And I knew that you were into agriculture and farming. I'm aware of this. And I knew that you went abroad in terms of what you're doing, that it doesn't just sit in Trinidad and Tobago. But hearing all of it, I mean, my pride has gone way up, of course. I mean, we were always proud, but now it's like, wow. And I feel educated because I did not know the extent.
Right.
You know, of the work that you were doing. And I think that's amazing. I love that you're starting with children because you really should know these things from small.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of us, our lives would be different. Our relationship with food would be different if we had gotten this information when we were younger.
Exactly. So one of the main reasons for starting this work is, you know, remembering in your primary school days, secondary school days, when we have a career day, you know, how much of the careers that would you have seen, or the professions would you have seen there? You would see typical doctor, lawyer, engineer, you know, some sort of petrolhead worker. But then you wouldn't see, you know, the non-traditional jobs. You wouldn't see a farmer. You wouldn't see a nutritionist, you know. You may not have even seen a marketing person.
Correct.
So all these things are things that we are introducing now. And of course, it's important if we want to create a world that is, in terms of equality, in terms of food consciousness, food sustainability, we have to have the conversation from young, Every child can grow up and say, oh, everybody want to be a doctor, right? So we have to have, so in our case, that's what we're tackling, solving it, using our mediums in terms of our agreement adventures. We do a lot of training programs, capacity building, training young people to become agri-entrepreneurs, created several products. We have a chocolate bar, fermento powder.
Wait, hold on. Stop. So you have a chocolate bar, and I don't know about this.
Well, now. That's why I bring my hair for we to
Where my gift? When people come on show, they just bring gift. Where my chocolate?
You're gonna get it. You gotta invite me again to get that gift.
You see how you're bright?
I want to come again. So we create value-added products. So we're not just talking agriculture, we walk in it, I think that makes our approach a bit different too as well, So we practicing what we preach, right?
Correct.
So for so long, I've been going around saying, plant one tree, you will eat for free. That will guarantee food security.
Hey, I love it.
And really digging deeper into the minds of the young people, rebranding that culture of agriculture, cultivating a culture of agriculture. So, me in my dashing bush patch, and I do a video, I take a picture.
Yes.
That's for people to be like, to make this thing the new norm, to make it the new norm and to make young people realize, wait, I could do that. And it's not some kind of fallback on thing, that I happen to do if I can get through with school. No. This is feeding people, feeding the mind, feeding the soul. I take my agricultural profession from a very spiritual perspective.
Yes.
So when I go in the morning to harvest my dashing bush, and I go into my patch that is muddy, and it is gushy, because dashing bush needs to survive in that kind of damp area.
Yes, squishy.
But I couldn't enjoy that more. That is my peace, that is my tranquility. Hearing the birds, the bees, especially in the morning. That orchestra on the farm, trust me, that peace, that's something money can buy,
Yeah.
So that's my therapy, to be quite honest. I know we won't get more into that just now.
We will. I love it. I love that you're taking front. I like it.
Yeah, so that is my therapy, and in all honesty, I want to show other young people. I mean, we're not so young again, we cannot come out of the youth bracket, but
that hurt my feelings. I felt it in my stomach, but thank you.
It hurted me too. But according to the UN definition, they say 35 and under is the youth now. So now I border in, right? So
right here.
But still, it's still bringing this very youthful flavor to the thing.
Yes.
And we're still looking young because we're doing good things. So
hello.
right. So it's like to show that young person out there that this is something you can do, you should do. I mean, besides it being profitable, because it definitely is. But it's something purposeful, you're protecting and you're protecting the planet. It's something peaceful, and it's a life that you can live based on tranquility. And to know that you're feeding somebody, because I honestly always say, I know we quarrel about price of food and the tomato so high and this so high, but I honestly feel as though money can't really buy food. When a farmer really grows something, baigan, pimento, hot pepper, and yam coming out of the ground, money could really pay for that, like really and truly.
No.
The
time spent.
Exactly. The time spent, the energy, the goodwill that goes into it, because a lot.
Yeah.
So really and truly, although yes, we put a dollar value to it, but that is like, to me, that is the least of it. Yes, you'll make it into a business. I'm not saying no, because we teach agribusiness as well.
Right.
But it's just the deeper thing that goes with it as well. Is what I try to get people to see and understand and appreciate, and that is how we kind of work our advocacy campaigns from.
I mean, there's so many things to take from that. You give me so much fruit in that, and what you just said. And I want to go back to what you said about it not being something to fall back on in terms of farming and agriculture. I love that, because a couple of years ago, I always have to pick up my alma mater, Holy Faith Canyon Pinal. right? And the Alumni Association, we had an thinking outside the box career fair. So we did not bring your typical career, persons from your typical careers. We had mixologists, we had photographers, just things that you wouldn't think of, or things that parents may not necessarily encourage their children to do,
Right.
even though they may have the skill for it.
Yeah.
Right. So I love that you are speaking about it, making this something that anybody should want to do, and not as a fallback something.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us also have, a lot of the older generation, but even us too, you think about it as not something that you have to study to do. You know? So the fact that people go to UE, and they actually get degrees in agribusiness, people are like, oh, you have to go to school for that? Yes, there's a whole lot that goes into it.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that you were able to shed a bit of light on that. And not only is it just farming or rearing animals, but it's also, you talked about food security. In all my years, I never thought about linking those two, but it seems so obvious now that you've done it. Yeah,
exactly. I remember while going to UE, doing my bachelor's, people will ask you, so what are you studying, right?
Yeah.
And you say, well, I study in agribusiness, and you would get that, oh, okay, cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
You don't get that, unlike if I say engineering, if I say medicine, but it's slowly changing, because especially COVID came and showed us that the importance
everybody
of food.
Was a farmer. Everybody was
a farmer. Yeah. My farm was like a highway, because we were selling, seedlings and soil and grow box, and it was people coming from wide and far coming to get tools and also knowledge and inspiration to grow, because you see that people was farming during COVID, or they was cooking or doing the boats. That was the activity, right? and that's cool. People, after COVID, people were like, we're only farmers and them, everybody. But that's to me, I didn't look at it like that. I look at it as people got an experience. And they got to see how important food really and truly is. And in their little downtime and spare time again, they will make agriculture a culture. They will get a little grow box, and say, hey, let me try to plant a little seasoning thing. And that is what we want. Everybody won't become a farmer. But everybody must appreciate and understand why they should farm, or why people should farm, and respect the farm.
#WhyFarm.
#WhyFarm, of course.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love that. And so, clearly your cup, figuratively, is very full with all the things that you're doing. But literally, I've seen you taking a little sip. So could you tell us about your cup and what's in it today?
Right. So I am having ginger, ginger that I harvested from on the farm.
Yes.
And it's really and truly so natural and so strong.
Yes.
The content of it that as smelling it.
I love a good ginger tea, And then that powder thing, then you have the roots.
Yeah, I have a powder thing here. No, proper thing.
#proper thing.
Yeah.
I love ginger tea, and it's very good for you. It's good for inflammation, right? And helps to, help keep your immune system up and running, which is very good for these times that we're living in. And what's written on your cup?
Right. So I got no problem. So I got this cup from the Borlaug Institute. I did but I've probably not seen it that clear. I'm not sure.
Bring it.
All right.
Yeah, right there. Oh, come back.
Right. So So it's at Mark Borlaug Institute. When I went to University of Texas A&M, invited me to do a keynote speech a few years ago. So I went to the university. I seen this big sign, agricultural superstar sensation, and the hall was filled. I have proof. I have pictures to show. Right?
Please send them for us. We want to see.
Yeah, and I will. The hall was filled. But on this side here, right, it says there's a little motivational message. So it says, life is short, do stuff that matters. Simple.
Doesn't that encapsulate your whole purpose, your whole
You
drive?
understand? Do stuff that matters, do purposeful stuff.
Yes.
So there's my little teacup here, I sip it, I read it, and I enjoy. But I just want to mention the Borlaug Institute. So this guy called what Borlaug was his name? I can't remember his first name right now, but he's the father of the Green Revolution. So he was he was responsible for doing all the different genes and rice that it have existing and all of that. And his granddaughter was the one that invited me. She runs the institute. And upon introducing me on stage, she was like, Alpha Sennon is the bulldog of this time. And I was like, is she talking about me? Because he's really the father of the green revolution. Like, anybody in food and agriculture knows him now, right?
Yeah.
And so he was like a Nobel Peace Prize winner and all of them kind of things, I was like, is she talking about me? But of course, we stay humble.
Of course.
We stay focused. We don't get beside ourselves.
No. But it's nice to know you're in great company. It's very nice to know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I decide when I see you on the streets, I can't say Alpha anymore. I say you're bulldog.
Nah. Alpha all the way till I die, humble and loving.
I love it. And I think that is what will continue to draw people to you, because you have that welcoming, humble personality. You're not standing nonsense, but you're doing what you have to.
Well, yeah. The truth is the truth, you know what I mean?
The truth is the truth. So thanks for sharing with us what's in your cup. And now, I mean, as you said, a lot of people got into planting during the lockdown experience when we had, the height of the pandemic, etc. And we also talked a little bit about how people view agriculture and farming. So in any of those perceptions that you come up against when you meet with people, is there anything in that, or aside from that is a pet peeve of yours? Like, what boils your water? What's going on?
Well, I think I still can't stand like when people ask like if agriculture is profitable, or if like if they're making money from doing that kind of question. Here's why. How much times a day we just eat? How much times a day we just eat?
Too many. Too many.
Too many too. So but in reality, it's like where that food coming from now, right?
Yeah.
That food that just happened to be growing somewhere. It's on a farm, and if you have a farm, you need a farmer, right?
Correct.
So it's like, of course it is. I mean, there's many things that with the system that can be changed and fixed, because you always have the fight between farmers, vendors, middlemen, and then the middlemen buying the food for $1 and then they sell it for $10. But they may do half of the work. They may do no work. I mean, the work they do, they go on the farm, they collect it, and then they go and sell it. They then grow it. But that's another conversation.
Right.
But of course, it is profitable. Of course, people have been doing it. I mean, even going back, and then to go back a little bit too, when you hear people, nobody don't take God out of the thought and say that to me. Right? But when people say things like that's slavery, you understand?
What?
When people perceive that to be that's slavery, so it's like, so wait, partner, so how you want to eat?
Somebody has to grow the food.
And I do the little flip side of it and say, okay, let's for argumentative purpose, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not to get into all that history, but I feel this is real conversation,
This
right?
is real conversation.
So when they enslaved our people, right, our ancestors, and they brought them to the Caribbean to do agriculture, have we ever asked why agriculture? And have we ever asked what that did for their economies? So that same food, yes, it was slavery, horrible, right? But the labor that they got from the slave trade is what built their economies.
Yeah, sugar cane.
You understand?
Wasn't gold.
So can't we now take I want to say good out of it, because they don't have much good out of slavery.
Right.
But the principle of growing food and building economies, can we take that and run with it? So instead of running away from it, we have to run towards it and embrace it. Of course, with education, with technology, with innovation, with traditional knowledge as well too, because we cannot leave out our ancestors' information, knowledge that they had, because of course there's a big discussion today as well with growing safer food, because not all, and this is real talk, not all nice red tomatoes that we see looking nice and big and rosy, good for you.
Genetically modified organisms. Organist.
Understand? Yeah, I like your cough, right? Not all of it good for you. So this is now where we have to understand then that, you know, we have to be able to grow safer, nutritious, and healthier food.
Yeah.
And because think about the long-term negative effects that these chemical down food could be having on our bodies.
Yes.
And leading to cancer and this and that and the other.
It's already happening.
I often say that a healthy vegetable ends up unhealthy because of the residues and also so much, right? But back to what I was saying is that, you know, when people try to pick that argument about that being like a slavery thing, you know, that obviously really, really boils me up, because it's like, partner, really and truly, you might need a doctor once in your life, a lawyer once in your life, a policeman, a pilot, but you need a farmer 3 times a day, every day. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, you're ready for me to start to drop some bombs here tonight, you know? So
I mean, drop them. Drop them. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm here. So, I mean, I really appreciate you enlightening us, because, of course, I mean, I'm not in agriculture, so I won't know that these are some of the things that are being said. That actually really blew my mind, because
one more thing too.
Yes, how many ever let it out? Yes.
Because one more thing is when people come and say as well that, you know, okay, so for the viewers out there, listeners who may not know what hydroponics is is when you have these pipes and it's really soilless agriculture and you're using water, but you're using chemicals and the roots is constantly being wet from the plants and it's growing. So you see nice big lettuce, nice big patroy. Of course, it's a little expensive just to set up. And then of course you use either electricity or if you have solar, that kind of thing. But it's definitely soilless agriculture. So quote unquote, it's a cleaner agriculture, but it depends on what you think is clean and dirty.
Right.
But I don't find my dashing bush patch dirty, you know.
I know you like to go in your mud in your dashing patch.
Right. So anyhow, so that's a matter of perspective, right? Like that. But what people tend to say as well is that hydroponics, right? That is the way forward for agriculture. I have a problem with that, right? Because then JL, I just tell them straight, take a yam and grow it in hydroponics. Grow cassava in hydroponics.
It's true,
grow
because you need the soil.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. And this is where the Save Soil movement come in. I was very instrumental. That's for those of the listeners who don't know. There's a movement that Sadhguru started out of India. You'd have seen Marshall Montano on the train.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the Save Soil movement. So we had a big part to play in it. We did a big event in Saparia at the Panyard. Marshall came down. We did a big video. It was real cool. I attended the Sadhguru event when he was here. Just up to maybe last weekend we had a big Save Soil booth at the 12 and under is back on.
Yes.
Yeah. Auntie Bonnet is doing 12 and under.
Bigfoot, yes.
Yes.
Previous guest of Chit Chatt and friend of Chit Chatt.
Yes. I enjoyed your conversation so much.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, we had a Save Soil booth at the 12 and teaching kids 12 and under about Save Soil. You understand? Wow. So that was real beautiful. We did that in collaboration with Marshall's wife, Renee Montano. Big up Renee. Right. So I'm saying that hydroponics, and yes, we'll have new technologies, but do not take God out of your thought and leave out the traditional. You do not leave out the ancestral. You are, by saying that, you're disrespecting all farmers who's working and toiling in the soil.
Every day.
All our ancestors who took time to grow and to get me and you big too. This kind of way.
Yes.
We can't leave them out. So I would say it's another system that we can use. It's another avenue of growing. Of course, you have to grow it safe as well, because some people tend to use so much chemical in that.
Right.
It also becomes unhealthy and unsafe. Right. But get good knowledge is another avenue. But we cannot leave out the soil. And there are young people like myself who want to be down in my dashing bush patch in my mud. My hand does end up staying up, die nothing. I remember when just to say this one quick.
Yes.
I remember when so the other day, the President of the Republic of Trinidad gave me my instrument of appointment to be on the board of directors of NAMDEFCO. You know, the
Wait, let me put on my tea so I can clap.
right?
Congratulations, that's amazing,
Thank you.
Alpha. Congrats.
Thank you. So I'm on that NAMDEFCO National Agricultural Marketing Development Company, which is a state agency. So in collecting my instrument of appointment, I watched my hands, but I was really dashing bush patch, you know, and my hand was stained from the dashing bush now. Well, more or less the stalk, there's the stem. Yeah, there's a stain in your hand, you know, and I mean, yes, I bathe gel. I did take a bath before I go, you know, but the stains are so much. It
wasn't even a question.
I don't take it shorter, right? I did take a bath, right? But the stains were so much that I still saw it. So I collected that. So on my post, I was like, as I put out my hand to receive my instrument of appointment, I could see the stains on my hands from my dashing bush patch.
Yeah.
And this again is connecting people to the possibility that is out there for the work that you do. This is not about Alpha Sennon. I mean, I would use myself as a vessel to inspire and motivate and encourage others. And it's not a show-off thing neither, but it's really and truly to show people I was in my dashing bush patch a few hours before that morning, before collecting my instrument of appointment. My hands are still stained. I am a farmer to the bone. You understand? Farmers first. Yeah. Correct. So that
is amazing. I mean, let me just say, I have my words, my tongue gets tied up. Plus, there's so many good things, so much new knowledge. And let me sip on my chamomile tea.
Nice.
Get myself together. This is my little Equilibre branded cup. Don't know if they can see. They probably can't, but that's okay. From Fantasy Factory Gifts.
Nice.
So this is truly amazing. Again, congratulations. Very proud of you. I mean, Sapara Boys RC, you see quality. See the quality.
It would be very remiss of me if I don't mention our deceased 4-H teacher. May his soul rest in peace, Mr. Penny.
Penny. Oh.
Every time I call his name, a paw raise.
Yeah.
Because he taught us growing at the side at the side of boys' school there. We had the little gardens.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And Mr. Penny embedded that into us as boys in boys' school and via Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I forgot he was a Scout. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jill, when I really think back about the people back in school who was instrumental, you know, knowledge and inspiration from these teachers, and that's why teachers is so important.
Correct.
Because I mean, honestly speaking, even when I leave boys' school and went on to composite and did my CXA or I never do agri-science doing. I didn't do agri-science. I was in science class. Yeah, I didn't do agri-science. You know, but it's in UE when I started to do maths and physics. I came out of that. Then I did IT for 1 semester. Came out of that.
Yeah.
I stumbled on agribusiness, and I'm saying that to say that knowledge that you get as a child, is in your subliminal mind conscious somewhere there, and these principles and these values, and Miss Valdez telling you to walk in that straight line while going to the church, and she very, you know, she very strong voice, you know, I could still hear it, you know, and I swear to God, it's like these principles is so that it carries you, you know, it really, really carries you, because really and truly in your primary school life, you spend more time with your teachers than your parents, you know. Yeah, them is really mommy and daddy, you know.
Yeah, you definitely majority of the day with them.
Exactly. So you know, I say that to say that you know, even this mentorship that you get from people back in the days, you don't know you're getting it because you're studying them, whatever. But it's there, it's embedded in you, and sometimes you even hear these voices of some of these teachers from way back when talking to you somehow or the other. Yeah.
I love that. It also shows the importance of that community, which I think a lot of young people, especially today, unfortunately, are not privy to. You know, they don't get that. So I think it's important for us to really try our best to also push that community. Everything is getting so technology driven, which is not a bad thing, but we also don't want to lose our humanness. We don't want to lose our humanity. You know, we still have to find ways to connect. And I think what you're doing is one of the ways where people can actually still connect to each other, but also connect to the earth, which is not something that a lot of us do. So I think that's amazing in and of itself. So thank you for sharing that. And
You're welcome.
earlier, you mentioned that getting up early in the morning and going in your dashi patch, hearing the orchestra of the morning songs, is like your therapy.
Well,
right?
I honestly, I didn't realize that it was, but it is. You know, it is because I would just, before even starting work, I would just back.
Yeah.
And that's like, the sun now kind of rise or even rising. And I would just look at the beautiful greenery and you see them birds coming out of the nest and they're starting to fly and they're talking to each other and then them bees and then whatever there's be, all them crickets and all them creatures, what is making this music. I think that definitely is my therapy. And you see in the dew on the dashing bush leaf. And I don't know if you ever realized that the dashing bush is a heart. The leaf
is, yes.
It's a heart. So to me, I just be surrounded by love when I go in my patch. And I think, JL, that everybody, every human being has to find their love, when they get up, when they go out, if you are a teacher, if you are whatever you are, you find that love in your place of work. And I think that's my love, so I get my therapy from there. I go in the part, sometimes I fall down flat because sometimes you stick your foot stick in the mud.
Yeah.
Sometimes I had to come out of the patch without a boots because my boots literally stick. You might never understand what level of slush I talking about. They're like stick down there, But guess what? And you like Kalalu?
I sure do.
Somebody had to get the Kalalu bush. Somebody had to grow the Kalalu bush.
That's right.
So
somebody has to get their boots stuck.
Somebody has to get
my Kalalu.
For you to get your Kalalu. So when you get that Kalalu, don't waste that Kalalu.
No,
eat that Kalalu with pride and say yes, boy. Don't only say compliments to the chef. I want some compliments to the farmer as well.
Yes,
too. Compliments
to the farmer. I love it.
Let me blaze it up here tonight.
Blaze it.
Hey, so that is my therapy. But one besides that too is that I'm harvesting these leaves with a conscious mind that somebody, some way, is going to be consuming Kalalu from this bush now. The nutritional value of it. Your health, your well-being in consuming this Kalalu. Once you could cook a good Kalalu, that is. Everybody can cook a good Kalalu.
Everybody can cook a good Kalalu.
Right? So this Kalalu now that you go in and consume now, it's so, we do, I ain't tell you we have an argument Kalalu pack.
No, we're keeping secrets.
We have an argument Kalalu pack, cut up dashing bush, cut up stalk, we have okra, we have pimento in it, we have pumpkin in it, we have hot pepper.
Nice.
And I tell you it best, it is only in Marcy stores to Paris. Let me make a little plug one time. The Paris people who tune in. Right? Go there and get it.
The Paris people, let's support the own in a big way, So next thing you know, all the agri-man Kalalu pack sell out.
It is right. So that's right through somebody writing me on a Sunday, the Kalalu pack done. I say, well, oh gosh, tell Marcy order more,
I agree.
So when but that's to know that the fact that somebody will be eating this, somebody feeding the child it, the blessing in it is beyond me collecting a check from Marcy when I deliver it now. It's way beyond that. And
that's a blessing too, but
of course, because at the end of the day, I can't go in to the cell and tell them, well, I'll just pick that
a conscious heart,
and tell them a bill, or go in my flow. I had to give them some money, right? But the blessing is beyond the dollar value as well, and that is how I look at it from a spiritual perspective. And that's what I always come back to say. People can't really pay for food now. It's so much for you that well-being, that health, that nutrition that you get. It's absolutely important.
So your mental health seems to be, from me listening to you, in a pretty good place. But you're dealing with so much. You have so many balls in the air. You're traveling. It's international stuff. It's local stuff. It's instruments of appointment for board positions. It's having your family. It's having your farm. How is your mental health managing all of these things?
Very good question, and I was waiting for this question. Um, well, I have to say, right? If I have to say, of course, practicing the Islamic faith has led me to take in deep breaths. Like when I say deep breaths, because we pause and we pray 5 times a day, and we wash. We make something called wudu ablution, and we take a moment to pray and connect and reconnect. That is one staying connected to God is definitely it helps. That helps with, because we live in crazy Trinidad. I'm sorry to say crazy Trinidad, but the things that you see every day, the things that you read, I don't even want to, I don't want to even, start to think about that right now, but it can be so depressing.
Yeah.
That you wonder, like, oh my gosh, this is the same place I live in. Like, why? What going on with people? What going on with the news? What going on? And it could take a toll on you. Of course, that is one aspect. And then, of course, you have day-to-day business aspects where, but this, that, the other, a deal, or this, but you try to stay connected to your higher power, your supreme being. That is one, and that really helps you to, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, and then kind of know that there's a greater power and a greater help. So that's like absolutely one thing, Second to that, I think, or I believe that I have the most supportive wife ever. Like
shout her out.
Candy, Charles, Sennon, big up your whole self.
Big up your whole self, Candice.
Right? Because it's like, I even remember, and I'm going back a little bit to come back, right?
Yes.
I remember, because when I graduated from you with my bachelor's, your boy get first class honors, I was valedictorian, I get scholarship, blah, blah, blah. So the university want me. They want me to work with them.
Bad.
Started doing research assistant, I started my master, my MPhil. And when WHYFARM started to kind of, when the projects started to come at you.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, boy, and it started to get so much now that, how are you doing that and doing this? And of course, you're leaving something, you 8 to 4, where you're sure you're having whatever salary at the end of the month, to come into, I wouldn't say nothing, but no short salary, entrepreneurship. And we know the rocky climbs and the falls, and we know how it does go.
Yes.
And, I would say from day one, right then and there, she was like, Alpha, if that's what your heart desire, let me go for it. And in my mind, it's like, which wife does that,
Yours.
Mine, right?
That's right.
So I thank God for her. And thank God for her because, I would never regret that decision in terms of jumping full-fledged into WHYFARM. Without knowing where your next salary really and truly is now.
Yeah.
But entrepreneurship is just that you create that salary going down the road. And especially when you're forced to do it, because even if I stayed just working at the university, if I might have be a little project on the side,
exactly,
because you ain't giving it the full,
yes, your full attention and effort,
so you're really, you're climbing up a mountain really and truly now. And you know at any moment you can just slip now.
Right back down.
Right. So
living that life.
But you're taking a risk. Of course, you're managing the risk as well too.
Yeah.
And you're going for it. So of course she now would be the one to be able to help. So a lot of things. She have her own profession. She's a teacher with the Ministry of Education. So she teaches a lot of picnics when the day come. I don't know how she does do it. I don't know. Because sometimes when I call her for lunchtime and you hear in this clean, like, how you managing that? Yes, we just go in schools, but we are going to spend a little hour and bus out.
And leave. Exactly. Bus out.
Taking that whole day, miss. Like, all right, good.
Yeah.
So anyhow, and then of course having a good team. So we have a good team, big up to my entire team, my entire staff at WHYFARM. We have people locally, we have people internationally as well.
Amazing.
So we have our group meetings, our team meetings, our board meetings, and sometimes we do like little retreat stuff that we meet up on the farm.
Yeah.
And we are working but we just chilling, and that's just
Yeah.
you
You
know
need
that
that too.
you need that as well too. You know, and then of course from time to time, you know, different members of the team will represent WHYFARM in different places across the world, etc. A team of us was in Brooklyn just the other day doing a Thoughtful Food Summit. We had a big booth there. Well, I am actually making my way to Guatemala on Sunday. We have a Latin America investment forum to attend down there. I'm traveling by myself, so I'm a little bit sad, you know. But you know, the work continues, and even sometimes just like I remember being on a let me give you an example. I remember being on a flight to Australia, you know, and I was like, I really, well, of course, you know, the Australia journey is so long.
And you traveled for like 2 days or something?
JL, I left New York. I left Trinidad on Monday.
Yeah.
And I reached Australia on Thursday.
Madness.
Yeah, madness. I was walking on my head when I reached down there. You know you're down under.
Yeah.
So the whole atmospheric pressure, everything different, and watch that. It was, I mean, I like it, but it's not some way I could do it going every year.
Yeah. Know? I think you're good for like another 5 to 10.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but it real nice and all that. But I remember, you remember going down on a plane today, and I was like, but wait now. To me, only cricketers just go Australia, you know, like from the Caribbean now.
Yes.
You know, West Indies team going down there is like agriculture taking me there.
Imagine
you know,
that.
From starting a conversation about WHYFARM, you know, and it's really and truly amazing. So I would sit and reflect about these things as well. Be humble, but also be like, wow, you know, we gotta keep doing what we're doing, and that's the change that we will see. Now let's keep doing what we're doing. And for all the entrepreneurs out there, big dreamers, visionaries, innovators out there, keep on doing what you're doing. You know, Marshall Montano said to me just recently, the only people that don't succeed with their dream is the people that give up on their own dream. So when you get them 99 no's, Jay, that 100% they coming to tell you yes, but when you give up on that 99 time there, don't ever give up now. So that I just keep all them things in my head and just keep going. And of course, keep pulling people up with me too. You know?
Yeah. That is a big part of it, huh?
A big part of it. So I want to break down something here now tonight and dispel this whole notion about when you get to the top of the ladder, pull somebody else up. Hear me? Hold on. Why we gotta wait to get to the top of the ladder? Why we can't keep pulling while we go in?
Yeah.
You know, it's a concept that speaks to you reach up and get through, and then, because here's why. Almost as though you don't want to pull nobody with you because they might reach before you. I say absolute nonsense.
Exactly.
Absolute nonsense. We're burning them thing here tonight. I am saying pull people with you.
Yeah.
And if somebody reach, well, whatever is the top two, I don't even know what's the top, right? You know, but just saying, if somebody reach there before you, whatever is that top and before, I don't know, you know, but still, what is wrong with that? Give them a clap, give them a hug up.
Food at the table for all of us, and a lot of people don't understand that.
You see how much dashing mush in my patch?
People stress themselves out that way. They stress themselves out that way, and that impacts their mental health because you keep watching what other people doing.
You keep watching what other people doing, and they say, "Way boy, watch my age. Me ain't married yet. Watch my age. Me ain't have a child yet. Me ain't have a house yet. Me ain't have a car yet." No mistake, right? But I am saying what we need to do what we're doing. Yeah. Everybody journey is different. Everybody role is different. Everybody purpose is different. We still heading in a direction. But you know, you can, when you start to watch, because you're driving at this and somebody said drive at that. You want something. Nah man, I think the send you mad.
What is for you is for you.
What is for you is for you.
Yeah.
You know?
And nobody can take that.
And you see that way I said then true, you keep watching what other people have or what somebody else quote unquote reach.
Yeah.
And you feel, well, you don't know what that person do to reach there. Number one. You understand? Mm-hmm. And let's work hard too. You know, we're not in no competition with nobody.
Just
you know, so I believe that, we must be able to pull up each other, inspire each other. Everybody's journey is way different.
Yeah.
Some people go along the real academic road. Some people go along the innovation entrepreneurship road. And
some people like you do all of the above.
Well, I try. But at the same time, it's just about bringing happiness to your life too. Because as my cup say, life is short. Do stuff that matters.
That matters. That's right. And Alpha, this was so good. Like, I feel energized. I mean, you should do a little preaching too. Like, just say, like, that might be in your preacher. Because
why not? I ain't afraid that
was really good. Yeah.
Whatever calling God out for me, I think I try to embrace it.
Yeah.
So like having this conversation with my girl G, I will never turn that down because you see, I don't know who needs to hear me.
Exactly.
I don't. And if one person, come on here tonight and they hear us when when this is posted, etc. And they are like, wait, boy, wow, I didn't think about that way, or this, or my life, or what, and that changed their life. Amen. Amen. And as I always say, it takes one straw to be ignited in a forest to burn down a whole forest.
It's true.
I think it takes one match grain to ignite that straw to burn down that whole forest.
It's true.
So you never know the change and the catalyst that one person could be.
Yeah.
To change the world. Look at people like Malcolm X. Look at people like Marcus Garvey. Look at these powerful people who was one person,
One person.
With an army eventually, but it's one person with this dream to change the world, to change the mindset, to change, equality, justice, and we need people like that today. We need positive.
We still do. We
really need that right now.
Alpha, this has been amazing. This was so enlightening for me, and I'm sure for everybody watching or listening. If according to if nothing else, we're walking away with a different perspective. So I really just want to thank you so much for your enthusiastic yes. I really appreciate that. But tell us how can we find you on social media? How can we keep up to date with AgriMan and see what else is happening?
I'm going to say find me down in the Dashing Bush Park, yes, but
we can definitely find you there.
Yeah. So follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn at whyfarmit. So at WHYFARMIT at whyfarmit. Our website is www.whyfarmit.org. www.whyfarmit.org. Of course, we are going to schools. We develop community gardens. Schools visit us as well too on the farm. In the month of November, we have about 4 different schools visiting us.
So if somebody wants to book a visit to the farm, or they want you to come chat with them, how do they go about booking?
Right. So you can reach out to us on Facebook, but more formally, you can write us an email. whyfarmit, WHYFARMIT at gmail.com, right? whyfarmit.com. Sorry, whyfarmit@gmail.com. Yeah, right. Write us an email requesting a visit. We plan out a date that's convenient for both of us. We said these are the criteria, etc. And we make it happen, right? So that is via our social media. Make sure and follow us.
Yes.
We have a very active YouTube page as well too. A lot of students in particular, they do a lot of I don't know if they call it SBA again, but those SBA
I think it's internal assessment.
IAs, right? Okay. Yeah. I think our names was way better, but anyhow.
Yeah, I find so too.
So they do a lot of IAs on our projects and stuff that we videos and things that we have. So from time to time, teachers would invite us to come in and share or so we try to make a real engaging program. We try to really connect our audience with all that we're doing, so that internationally, locally, and as we say, our work is local. Our idea is local, but our mission is global, because the food security, food and nutrition security is such a global concern.
Yeah.
That we shouldn't be selfish. We are not selfish. We have an idea and it's just a trainer alone. But the idea is really global. But we definitely do it in a way to put Trinidad on the map. I have been to places already where people have made offers, for me to stay there and build up my brand there. And I was like, nah. And of course, that was coming with full compensation.
Of course.
But something about home is where the heart is. And I want to build it here, build it in Trinidad and Tobago. So even when Agreement Adventures movie boss, I want to boss in movie tongue right here.
Yes.
We might do a premiere in Hollywood at some point. I don't know. But here, you
I
understand?
want to be there.
Wherever. You have to be there, God willing. Yeah, you have to be there. So these are the kind of dreams and things I put out there. And you know that one day the mission is bigger than me, and it's all about that even when I go back to my Lord, is about continuing that mission and that purpose. But I know that I started it and somebody will see it through, because we're not here to set stone.
That's your legacy. Right? Exactly.
It's your legacy, right? It's your legacy. So the mission, the purpose, and that's I think people need to work from that perspective. Like Jay, before we even end as well, I want to take time as well to say thank you very much, not only for having me, but for this conversation that you have started. This conversation is an important conversation, and I'll tell you why. I'm also an Ashoka Fellow. It's the world's leading social entrepreneurship, let's say platform.
Okay.
And a big part of Ashoka's mandate is health and well-being, right? So this morning I was talking to one of my friends who's another Ashoka Fellow. She's from St. Lucia. Her name is Caitlin. And she's now in Italy. And she's doing a whole wellness retreat that Ashoka sent her to do. To just take time away from the hustle and the bustle and slow down,
We need
to. And we need to. And as we say, wheel and come again, And this is where, as we're growing older, we start to understand the importance of vacation. Because in my first few years at WHYFARM, although I traveling, but people sometimes mix up traveling and feel you're on vacation. You're traveling for work.
Exactly.
It's work. It's just work.
Yes.
So although you're here, you're there, you're here, there, and you're no vacation,
You have to rest.
And it's within maybe the 2 years before COVID right there or something, wifey and I started to slow down and we say, hey, let me go Grenada every year. Let me go Barbados. Let's just go and take a week, sometimes a weekend, and just settle. Just do nothing. And you sometimes might feel like, way boy, there's so much things to do. I go lost money. No, partner. Just take your time.
If you don't take that rest will take you.
Exactly. Sometimes we just go up Toko as well too, and just take a weekend. Just take it down. And you have to. So because your health and your well-being is so important. So I want to say thank you so much for having this conversation, bringing on all these different guests, all these different special people, to talk to you and chit chat, with two T's, right?
That's right. Alpha needs to be my new promo person.
Oh, you mean I could do all ad pro bono?
I love it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right. So and have this conversation because it gives people a different perspective on how to traverse through these lands now, you know. So thank you so much for this work. And
thank you.
If I look back here now, like I remember you coming in boys' school, in the evening to meet mommy and thing, and it's like, you sometimes wonder if we would have known what we'd have become. This kind of
we
way,
had
like
no clue.
Look the rapport we have in here now,
Yeah.
We have and life is so powerful. It's so I don't know what to call it, the universe night. So
yes.
But people always, whether it may be even sometimes, reconnect because we are disconnected really and truly, Now that energy is there,
Yeah.
Yeah, that energy is there. So people who you knew, see them in how much years, but you'll never know where you'll bongs them up, in an airport.
The connection remains. The connection
remains. The connection.
Remains.
And it's like, wait now, just the other you crossed my mind. I never am to you.
Yes.
Just
Often.
the other you cross my mind and I see the person.
Yeah.
Them feel you lying. Them feel you
Mama
them
guy.
mama guy talk. But them mama guy talk. I bounce up one of my friend in Miami, the airport there. They may see she in about 5 years.
Yeah.
Do my bounce up in Miami airport. Right? And it's like I telling her, girl, just the other you cross my mind, and she's like, but you're lying. I swear, you know. So anyhow, that's the energy, and I'm happy to, I would say, reconnect via this program.
Yes.
And I encourage the people who's out there to be able to take it in, share it, follow it. Because we have to build each other. We have to just go with it and make it a thing now.
Yes. Thank you so much, Alpha. I mean, this was great. Well, we will make sure and put all the handles below so that people can find you and follow WHYFARM and get some more information as to food security and learn more about farming and agriculture. And thank you for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule to be here with us. We truly appreciate you helping us in our purpose as you continue on in yours. All right. So everybody, Carlo?
Yeah, hi, good night.
Hello.
I would get in real trouble. Real trouble if you're alpha farmer here. Real trouble if you're agri-man here. And I do acknowledge Ras Commander. Because Ras Commander is a proper man of the soil. Ras Commander is a man, he doing the work too.
Correct.
I just had to say congratulations, because the farmers I know, small time, small farm business. So thanks a lot for the work,
man. Commander, man. Thanks for
that
acknowledgement of the Ras.
Ricardo.
Yeah,
Ras serious with it. And just for the record, I know who you think this message was supposed to reach, but it don't reach somebody in a kind of way already. Yeah, is me.
All right.
Yeah.
Somebody's.
So you don't hit the mark already.
All right.
Thanks a lot, man.
To hear that, man. I'm glad I could have delivered like that.
Right.
Respect, man.
Yes, sir.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. Once again, thank you to Alpha Sennon, Farmer First of WHYFARM, and we really appreciate you being with us. Make sure and continue having discussions about mental health because we want to normalize that. All right. So again, I am your host, jvaldez, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Chit Chat with 2 T's. Thank you and bye.
Bye.